Adventures in Freelancing. Take a break from it all and enjoy a little lighthearted fiction as we tell stories about the glamorous life of a freelancer and his very tolerant dog. Episode 4, The Project Pileup, or Where Did My Schedule Go? Alex's Just Do It project system collapses. His whiteboard becomes art, deadlines loom, and the frantic realization of a forgotten task brings a panic that even Buster can't help with. Hi, this is Ann Thornton for doitbythehour.com, and I'm a freelancer just like you. You know that feeling when you land a few new gigs? That rush of, I'm a real professional, combined with a subtle hint of, okay, now what? For Alex, a fledgling web designer who had just charmed his way into a couple of small but promising projects, it was 90% elation and 10%, 10% I'll figure it out. His system was less a system and more a philosophical stance. Just do it. He had a pristine whiteboard purchased with the best of intentions and a mind buzzing with creative energy. What could possibly go wrong? The Grand Project Illusion. Armed with a handful of neon dry erase markers and a boundless, if slightly naive optimism, Alex attacked his pristine whiteboard, Project A here, Project B there, a few random thoughts scrawled in the corner. This, he declared to an unimpressed Buster, who was meticulously grooming a particularly irritating patch of fur, is called visual organization. It's how true masters operate. Buster merely shifted his gaze from his paw to Alex, then to the whiteboard and back to his paw, as if contemplating whether Alex's organizational skills were roughly on par with a cat's ability to appreciate fine art, or a properly buried bone. The early days were glorious. Check, done, high five. But as the projects layered on and just do it morphed into just do everything, the illusion began to crack.
Want more control over your clients and career? Do It by the Hour is the freelancer's back office, providing project management, automated invoicing, payment processing, and client acquisition tools. Get started for free on doitbythehour.com.
Whiteboard warfare and tiny time traps. Soon, the whiteboard became less a planning tool and more a tragic, abstract expressionist piece. Crossed out lines intersected active tasks. Arrows pointed vaguely at existential crisis, and urgent was scribbled so many times it lost all meaning. Alex found himself trapped in the minutia. He spent an entire morning agonizing over the perfect shade of off-white for a background, completely oblivious to the major deadline for an entire website draft that was now breathing down his neck like an angry badger. Meanwhile, Buster, perched regally on the couch, would occasionally gaze pointedly at the tablet resting beside Alex, then back at the swirling chaos on the whiteboard, as if suggesting Alex's methods were as effective as trying to train a cat to fetch a newspaper in a hurricane. Or fetch anything, really. Some skills you just can't teach. Sometimes, during Alex's particularly dramatic sighs, Buster would even nudge a forgotten styluses or look expectantly towards the desktop, where a new ad for seamless project management often popped up, only to be promptly dismissed by Alex as digital clutter. The dreaded "did you forget" email. The air in Alex's studio grew thick with the unspoken pressure of forgotten details. He was perpetually in motion, like a hamster on an increasingly rickety wheel, but achieving little beyond generating impressive amounts of frantic energy. His self-discipline attempts usually involved standing rigidly by the whiteboard, muttering, "Focus, Alex, focus," before drifting off to research the optimal time to water basil plants. He'd occasionally catch Buster's watchful eye, and the dog would let out a small, almost imperceptible snort. Humans are so illogical. Why can't you just use the tools available instead of creating a multi-dimensional catastrophe on a flat surface? Then came the email. Subject: quick follow-up on the homepage mock-ups. Alex stared at the screen, a cold dread seeping into his bones. Homepage mock-ups? Had he even started those? When was that due? Oh my! Alex's phone buzzed with an urgent text message from a client asking for an update on a specific deliverable for Project B. He stared at the name, a jolt of pure panic shooting through him as he realized he'd somehow managed to lose track of whether it was even started, let alone finished. Buster, having done all that a dog could do, decided it was time for his afternoon nap. After all, at least one of them should be well rested and relaxed. If you enjoyed this and need a voiceover actor for your next project, I'm available. Just search for Ann Thornton on doitbythehour.com.